Okay, so bell work number 9 is multiplying polynomials. And if you look at problem number 1, this is a monomial multiplied by a binomial. And in this type of situation, we just use the distributive property. And 5 times 3x is 15x. And then if I multiply 5 times positive 2, I get plus 10. So 15x plus 10 would be the solution for that one. If you look at problem number 2, this is going to be FOIL method. Some of you like to use the box method. But I'm going to FOIL this. I'm going to say x times x is x squared. That takes care of my first terms. Then I'm going to do the outside, 3 times x. That's positive 3x. It's always good to write those signs. Then I'm going to do the inside terms. Positive 2 times x is positive 2x. And finally, the last terms, 2 times 3, that's positive 6. And all I have to do now is just combine like terms, simplify this thing out, and let's see what we have here. That's going to be x squared plus 5x plus 6, and this is our solution here. And for problem number 3, a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to use the distributive property, and you could use the box method as well. So let's see, I'm going to first multiply 5x times everything over here. Then I'm going to go back and multiply my positive 2 times everything here. So let's start off with the 5x. 5x times x squared is going to be 5x cubed because I have to add the exponent since I'm multiplying. So 5x cubed. Then I have 5x distributed across the negative 3x. That's going to be negative 15x squared. And finally, I take the 5x times the positive 6, and that gives me 30x. Okay, we're about halfway done, so let me erase what we have on the left side. And now I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to do the same thing with the 2. Well, 2 times x squared is 2x squared, so I'm going to add that to what I have already. I'll add my 2x squared, and notice I'm putting my x squareds in the same column, right? So that when I go back and add these up, it'll be a lot easier to keep up with. Then I'm going to say 2 times negative 3x. Well, that's negative 6x. So I'm going to put a negative 6x in the x column. And finally, 2 times 6 is 12. And 12 would just go by itself over here. And now all I have to do is just add these up. Well, in the cube column, I just have 5x cubed. And all of the answers have 5x cubed, so that doesn't really help. But if I look at the squared column, I have positive 2x squared minus 15x squared, which is negative 13x squared. Well, since this is multiple choice, I now know that this has to be the answer, but let's go ahead and finish. Let's look at the x column. If you look at negative 6x plus 30x, you add these together. Well, 30 minus 6 is positive 24, so that takes care of that, and then we just bring down the 12. So that takes care of the answer for problem number 3.